Alright, howdy ho people. It is time for a new pattern at Pattern Focus. Scroll down here, go down to this one. Ornatata is the next one. There's nobody else has done a video on that yet. Look how pretty this pattern is. This is what we're aiming for here, folks. We're aiming for this beautiful sort of fleur-de-lis like shape. Really pretty. You can do this. I know you can. It looks intimidating, but we'll break it down step by step and figure out together how to draw this pattern. I've never drawn it before, but we can do this. So, looks like the first step we're going to do is to make sort of a curve with a loop at the end and then come back. Curve with kind of a loop at the end and come back. Sort of a muka-like shape, a frond shape, an elongated teardrop shape, like this is the teardrop and that's the drippy, you know, the long part. Okay, then we're going to do some feathering. 1, 2 on each side. That's easy. You guys have done that before. And in the middle, we're going to make this sort of leaf shape, great big one. Inside this leaf shape, we're going to make some 3 other leaf shapes like that and put a circle. Then from that circle, we're going to come down and around like a spiral. Down and around like a spiral. Sort of a handlebar mustache kind of a look. And then we're going to make this shape right here. So we're going to kind of like echo this shape, but going this way with it coming down and around and then back up like that. Okay? And then we just feather that one again 2 times. And you end up with this beautiful thing. Isn't that pretty? And then look in the background, she's put some other feathering. She's put some teardrops. So, oh, somebody's at the front door. Who's that? Oh, that was Amazon. Okay. I'll get that in a moment. Okay, so she's made some shapes in the background that are coordinating with this shape. And then look at, she's also put some ripped screen back there too. Oh, can you see the ripped screen? It's over here in the corner. That's that little like checkerboardy. Anyway, this is beautiful. I'm going to just draw one big one right in the middle of my tile, I think. And yeah, let's give this a go. Turn on my light. Since my tile isn't quite square, I'm gonna do it this way because it's wide. So I'm going to do that first one going this direction. I need my pen. My next question on my list is, have you traveled abroad before? The answer to that is yes. There's this shape, and then we're going to come back and do the other way. Okay, there's that first shape. I have traveled abroad before. My sort of as a high school graduation gift. In the summer between my junior and senior year, there was a large group of us from our high school that took a study leave during the summer, and we traveled. First we went to Italy, and then first was Italy. We went to Pompeii, we went to Rome, and they were all study trips. So it was with the high school. It was a large group. We had like 3 buses of kids. It was a good sized group. It was probably about 100 people, and plus chaperones. And we went to these places. We studied the history. We looked at the architecture, the history, and then we would have classroom time at the end of the day, or like for half a day in between, or while we were on the bus, we would have classroom time, and we would have to journal and write little papers about what we learned in the various cities. Let's see. So we went to Pompeii, we went to Rome, we went to, I should be drawing, trying to think. We went to Switzerland. Actually saw the Matterhorn, which was, to me, was super exciting. The town where the Matterhorn is, we happened to get there during the period of time when everything goes like kind of almost like a siesta in the middle of the day. So nothing was open. That was kind of weird, but that they'd even scheduled it like that for the tour group, but that doesn't look quite right. I'm going to do something here in this corner because I don't think I did something quite right there, but we'll make it match. It should have been more, this one should have been just following that line there. I don't know where I went here with this like tooth shape, but that's okay. Yeah, so we saw the Matterhorn, so we did a little bit of stuff in Switzerland, did some hiking up in the highlands. It was beautiful. Switzerland, I thought, was the most stunning of the countries. They all have their beauty in different ways, but Switzerland was my absolute favorite in as far as scenery. Just stunning. Where else did we go? And then from there we went to France, went to Paris. I got deathly ill, so I do not remember most of Paris. I had the flu. So I know that I spent like 2 days just in the I don't remember if we were at a hostel in that one or if we were at an actual hotel. Some of them we were in hostels, some we were in hotels. I don't recall. I just remember that I saw the Eiffel Tower as we drove by in the bus, and I barely had enough energy to lift my head and say, "Oh, cool." And then I went back to sleep. I was just sicker than a dog. So that was not much fun. I really like, Ina has this one coming down behind that I really like. I'm gonna sneak this one in because she has it in here. I really like it. She's got this little tendril coming out of here and down. And then anyway, from France we went across the channel to England, and then we came home. So those are the places I've been abroad. I would love to go other places. Okay, so that's basically the shape with adding this other thing here. I think I'm going to embellish. I'm not super happy with what happened here. So I think I'm going to go down a little bit more with this shape. This should have gone more this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quote unquote fix it by just doing some embellishments. That will kind of hide some of my issues here. Okay. Okay, that's better. I like that shape better. I actually don't like this. I think I'm gonna fill that in too. There we go. Ah, I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna actually do maybe something here. Ah, how pretty is that? I'm just gonna keep embellishing on this thing and just enjoying myself, I think. Next question. Interesting question. Now, I've already had several people make comment that there's a lot of God talk and faith talk lately. And I make no, I'm not hiding the fact that I am a person of faith and that faith is important to me in my life. The questions are coming from you guys, and I just took all of them. If you go on that page that said the giveaway and that the way to enter the giveaway was to ask me a question, if you go scrolling through those comments, you will find these questions. I didn't make them up. I just take them as they are. So you guys have asked for this. So, you know, if you are uncomfortable with me and my faith and my ideas about my faith, you know, turn off the sound, fast forward, or don't watch it. You know, I'm just warning you ahead of time. Since God is good, so everything is good. What do you think about this message? I don't think that's quite accurate. Absolutely, God is good. But that does not necessarily mean that everything is good. Because there is evil in the world. God acknowledges that there's evil in the world. That's why Jesus was sent. So not everything is good. Now, do I believe that things that are not good, that God can turn around and use them in a good manner? Absolutely. You know, can somebody's story of you know, if something bad has happened to somebody, can their story of how that happened and how others can not do what they did? If somebody has, let's say for example, somebody's testimony on about their drug or alcohol addiction, if they profess that testimony and they tell, let's say they go to schools and they tell kids about how drugs or alcohol messed up their lives, and that in turn helped a young person choose to not do that behavior, that would be taking a good and making good out of something that was not good. But I don't believe everything in this life is good. There's a lot of things that are not good. Do I believe that everything that was created in its infancy is good? Yes. Yes, absolutely. So in that sense, yes, everything is good. You know, even horrible people who have done horribly evil things, at one point when they were born, they were good. What happened to them in the intervening years to cause the evil to grow inside them, I don't know. But I do believe that at one point they were good. I'm just playing with this shape and just adding things as they come to me. I'm gonna have to turn on my air conditioning. I can't believe it's hot. It's supposed to be cooling off. It was like almost 100 this weekend again. Ugh. But tomorrow's supposed to be only like 60 and rainy. And I'm looking forward to that. I want circles again. So I've got that one there. I want more. But I want more of this shape too. Maybe I'll come this way. Let's see. This way? No, this way. That. I'm a little crooked, but that's all right. I'm just embellishing and enjoying myself at this point. Okay, another question. What do you enjoy most in your church? What I enjoy most is the fellowship. The people in my church they really do care about each other. We're like a family. I think it's almost better than a family because it's people that you choose to hang out with, you know? That's what I think I enjoy most in my church. It can be difficult because, you know, people are people and people are flawed. So sometimes it can be hard to maintain good relationships in the church. And I know that some people don't like organized religion because, you know, they say there's so many hypocrites in the church. I was listening to a radio show the other day and they actually said, you know, if you're not going to church because there's a lot of hypocrites at the church, but you believe in God, but you say, you know, I'm going to just stay at home. So then the church that you attend is the church of you, with one person at your house. The percentage of hypocrites in an organized church, any church down the street, is the same as the number of hypocrites in your church, in your house, when it's the only person attending church is you. Meaning that we're all hypocrites in some way, shape, or form. We all are. Every single one of us. We have opinions and views and things that, you know, we say one thing, we do another. All the time. Because we're people and we're human and we're flawed. That's not the reason to stay home. Because if you're lucky, and I totally agree, not everybody's lucky. Not everybody has a home church where people actually care for each other. But if you're lucky, you can find a place where true and real caring and compassion happen, and that's just a thing of beauty. It really is. And I agree, it does not happen everywhere, because I had some issues at one time where I did a little searching, and I thought perhaps that where I was attending, or where I do attend, might not be where I'm supposed to be attending. So I did some searching, and I went to other places, and I didn't feel the same sort of reaching out that I felt when I go to my church. So, you know, maybe we're just completely different than anyone else. I'm not sure. I'm just playing. You guys see that I'm just playing, right? I'm just doing an assortment of things that just make me happy. They're not necessarily following anything in particular. I'm just playing. And I'm just kind of embellishing sort of evenly on both sides. They're not exactly even. Beginning to feel like this is about where I want to stop with embellishments, maybe. Something like that. Yeah, that's a good spot, stopping spot. Okay, what was the name of this thing? Ornatata. I made Ornata more ornate. You can stop at the first part. Promise you, you can. I just carried myself away. Kind of looks like a wedding bell, which is interesting. Okay. Ugh. These darn bug bites. They're driving me crazy. See, there's one on my wrist. There's another one over here. Ugh. some on my elbow, on the back of my arm, on my foot, on my ankles. Apparently we are now having an infestation in Southern California of a mosquito that does not belong here, that apparently came over on a vessel. That's how usually most of the foreign critters get here, in a shipment of plants of some sort, Chinese bamboo, I think, or something. Anyway, we ended up with this critter, which is a different species of mosquito that we usually don't have here in Southern California. I've lived here all of my life, in somewhere in the Southern California area, and I've gotten the occasional mosquito bite, but apparently the mosquitoes that are native to our area prefer to feast on birds. They are not people feeders, so you don't usually get bitten. It's very rare. I have had more mosquito bites this summer than I have had in the last, I don't know how many years. And they're just awful. They really, you don't notice them right away until it starts to itch. But then when they do itch, they really itch, and they get really super red and swollen. At first I thought maybe it was spider bites or something. I wasn't sure, because we don't usually have mosquitoes. But then I started reading, there were some articles that are going around that talk about these particular mosquitoes and how we have to be very, very careful. Apparently these particular ones, the ones I'm used to, they'll land on you and then just keep sucking. And then you notice them and you're able to, like, swat them and squash them. This other kind apparently is more of a flyby kind of a thing, where it just barely lands, gets a little, and then goes. So you don't even feel them, which is why I didn't know that that's what I was having, that I was experiencing mosquito bites. But all of us, the whole family is just suffering. Apparently these particular mosquitoes don't live far from, they don't travel far. So apparently they only travel about 200 yards, which is not very far, a couple of houses. So the best defense is to have all of your neighbors dump any sort of standing water. And these particular ones, usually, we know about standing water, and so, I think people are pretty good about not letting buckets and things sit with water in them. But these particular ones apparently will lay eggs in any, even small patch of water. And they do it prolifically because they don't know if that little patch of water is going to dry up. So they will land even in a little tiny puddle of water in the corner of, like, let's say you've got a potato chip bag or a piece of trash or something out in the yard, where it's just making a little puddle of water, like the size of a thimble or the size of a bottle cap, with just a tiny bit of water in the bottom. That's enough water for this mosquito to stop and leave eggs. So it's really hard to eradicate, because you can't just, the vector control people say that they used to be able to just go in a yard and see the mucky pond or the swimming pool that wasn't being maintained properly, and say, this is the source of mosquitoes, you need to take care of this. It's not the case. It could be just a little puddle of water on the backside of a leaf, that every time you water, this particular leaf fills with water and creates a puddle, and it's just enough for this darn mosquito to lay eggs there. And then apparently, not only do they lay their eggs there, but their eggs can attach to the edge of the item. Let's say for it's a piece of trash, a little bottle cap. There was enough water in the bottle cap for them, the mosquito, to lay eggs. The eggs got laid near the edge. They attach themselves to the edge. The water gets dumped out of the bottle cap. The eggs lay dormant for up to 5 years. And then the next time that bottle cap gets water in it, those eggs will hatch. How scary is that? And you can't really see them. Ugh. I don't know. I have this feeling we're just going to be in for a fight with these particular mosquitoes for a long time. So, any of you guys have a natural mosquito repellent that you have tried and works, not something that you've heard about on the internet, but something that you've tried and works, let me know. Because I don't really want to be spraying chemicals on me all the time, but I really don't want to be so darned itchy all the time either. I mean, I've got them everywhere. They're on my feet, they're on my ankles, they're on my fingers, they're on my wrist and my elbow and my, they're just everywhere, and they drive me crazy. So, if you could help a girl out and give me some tips and pointers, if you guys live in mosquito country, I know there's a ton of people who live where mosquitoes are plentiful and that they do feed on people usually. You guys have a better way of dealing with stuff than we do out here, because I've never really, it's not ever been an issue, and this is driving me crazy. Okay. Next question while I color. Let's try to get these finished in the next couple of days. Can you draw without looking at any pattern? Yes. Can I draw a particular pattern without looking at the pattern? Some of them I have memorized, not all of them, obviously. But absolutely, I can draw without looking at a pattern. Like this one. I start with a basic shape and then I just keep embellishing. All of this is drawn without a pattern. So, yeah, absolutely. And you can too. You can absolutely take any shape. Try it for yourself. Take two shapes, two basic shapes. Let's say a straight line and a circle. And say to yourself, I'm going to draw something, some kind of pattern with straight lines and circles. And that's all I'm going to use is straight lines and circles. And I'm just going to repeat whatever I do. I'm just going to repeat it. So I'm going to maybe make a circle and then make a straight line next to it. And then a circle and a straight line, a circle and a straight line. I'm going to make that as a shape. And just make patterns, or a circle and 5 straight lines, or 5 circles and 2 straight lines, or whatever, and just make yourself a pattern. You can do it. Now, is it possible that it will end up being something that exists as a named pattern somewhere? Absolutely, it's possible, because there's only just so many patterns we can think up on our own. A lot of people will have thought of the same pattern. The ancients have used patterns for thousands of years, right? Look at Egypt. Look at Greece. Look at all the different patterns that are out there. People have been doing patterns forever. Nobody owns pattern. They may have named it so that they can find it easier in a database, but the pattern itself isn't owned by anyone. And you can totally do your own thing without looking at a step out. Super easy. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that on one of my CPT Inktober lessons, or not lessons, but tiles that I do for Inktober. Maybe I'll make myself a challenge of using only 1 or 2 shapes and just see what I come up with. Okay, isn't that beautiful? I love this toned paper. I love this particular one. This one and the gray one. This is kind of the brownish one. Love these papers. They're my favorite. All right, there we go. I think I'm done. There's the base shape right in there, and I've just sort of embellished around it. You guys do whatever you want with it. It's a lot of fun. I will see you tomorrow. Answer a few more questions. See if I can get the rest of these done. Got to get a couple of Inktober's done today too. And try to keep up or get caught up or get ahead so that when I go back to work in a couple of weeks, I have this feeling I won't have time to draw at all. So I've been enjoying my time off. Foot's getting better. I'll tell you about that in tomorrow's video. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Watch me tomorrow, and you guys have a great day. Enjoy your day and go out and do something nice for someone today, okay? I'll see you later. Bye.